What made Jungkook, one of the most vocal and firm members of BTS, suddenly issue a public apology to Park Jimin without any detailed explanation? Why did that short word "sorry" shake the global ARMY community and trigger widespread speculation? These questions are not only filling the comment sections on social media, but also causing increasingly real anxiety among fans. Something is clearly happening, and it's not something trivial. The sudden apology delivered by Jungkook during a limited broadcast has become a hot topic in the past 24 hours. There was no introduction, no warning, only a serious gaze into the camera and one sentence that struck the emotions of millions. Jimin Hyung, I'm really sorry. That sentence was not delivered in a casual atmosphere, but in one that seemed full of pressure and tension, as if it contained more meaning than just an ordinary mistake. This immediately sparked suspicions that something deeper and more serious had occurred between the two members who are known to be very close. Unnamed internal sources began leaking information to several Korean media outlets, stating that tension had been building for some time between Jungkook and Jimin. It was not specifically explained what triggered it, but clues pointing to internal friction among BTS members began to surface. One source even stated that the apology was not an ordinary one, but part of a reconciliation process mediated by the agency. BigHit Music itself has not released an official statement regarding this apology, but the agency's unusual silence has only amplified public curiosity. Usually, when it comes to member relations or internal issues, BigHit moves quickly to quash speculation. But this time, their silence has opened a wide space for interpretation. Many are questioning, is this part of a larger conflict? Or is there external pressure being faced collectively by the group? What makes the situation even more complex is the timing of the apology. Jungkook delivered the words just a few days after news emerged that Jimin had been experiencing significant stress during his mandatory military service. Some fans who closely observed the members' communication patterns and expressions began linking the apology to Jimin's unstable emotional state. Some speculations even suggest that Jungkook realized his indirect role in the burden felt by Jimin on platforms like Twitter and Weverse. These speculations spread quickly. Phrases like "Jungkook sorry to Jimin," "What happened between Jungkook and Jimin," and "Jungkook emotional apology" trended in multiple countries. The global ARMY community appears divided between those trying to understand the unclear context and those disappointed by the lack of clarity from official channels. It should be noted that Jungkook and Jimin have long been known for their strong dynamic, from personal closeness to professional collaboration. So when one of them delivers a public apology, it immediately triggers alarm that the relationship may be at a critical point. Many fans have begun piecing together a chronology of events over the past few months, including old footage showing changes in behavior or expressions between the two in public moments. Yet the question remains, is there truly a major conflict between them? Or is this simply part of the emotional maturation process that naturally occurs among individuals who have worked together for over a decade? Several psychology experts contacted by Korean media mention that interpersonal relationships within major music groups like BTS are highly complex. They don't just work together, they live together. They endure public pressure together. So, conflict is very likely to happen, said an interpersonal communication expert from Yonsei University. Adding another twist, just days before Jungkook's apology, leaked audio emerged of a conversation allegedly from a private practice room. In the audio, less than 1 minute long, two male voices can be heard speaking emotionally. There's no confirmation that the voices belong to Jungkook and Jimin, but ARMY members, known for their attentiveness, swear the tone and intonation closely resemble theirs. If the audio is genuine, it could mean that the apology was a continuation of an emotional dialogue that occurred earlier. Meanwhile, Jimin has yet to provide any response either directly or through social media. His absence from recent official BTS communications is also being scrutinized. In several recent instances, including online broadcasts and group posts, Jimin's presence is nearly non-existent. This further strengthens the suspicion that something serious is happening behind the scenes. From the fans' side, emotional reactions have flooded social media. Many express sadness, concern, and even frustration at not being able to know what is truly going on. Several international fan bases have even begun drafting open letters to the agency, urging for clarification to calm the growing unease in the ARMY community. On another front, entertainment industry analysts view such a public apology as highly unusual unless there is significant external pressure or an urgent internal situation. This has sparked another theory that the apology may be part of a broader communication strategy that has yet to be revealed. Some are even beginning to connect this to an upcoming comeback or major project, though this theory remains unsubstantiated. Did Jungkook feel guilty about something he said or did to Jimin recently? Was there a misunderstanding unknown to the public? Or, more deeply, was this apology a personal gesture acknowledging the emotional dynamics between them during intense military or group training sessions? This issue has also reignited broader discussions about the mental health of K-pop idols, especially those at the peak of their careers who must still deal with personal and professional pressures. Many believe that Jungkook's transparency and courage in issuing a public apology deserve appreciation, but it also signals that the system behind the industry may not yet sufficiently support the emotional well-being of its artists. Now the public and fans can only wait. Will there be a follow-up statement from Jimin or the agency? Will this mark the beginning of a greater reconciliation, or open a new chapter in BTS's internal dynamics? One thing is certain, the single sentence from Jungkook has had an extraordinary emotional impact on BTS's history and the global ARMY community. However, after various speculations and analyses spread wildly across social media, trusted sources eventually began to provide clarifications that significantly shifted the narrative. Based on verification from several South Korean entertainment journalists and indirect confirmation from BigHit music staff, it was revealed that the widely circulated apology was actually taken out of context and not related to any major issue or personal conflict between Jungkook and Jimin. The video containing the statement "Jimin Hyung, I'm really sorry," turned out to be part of an internal training and game session within a variety content segment that has not been fully released to the public. In the format of the show, members were asked to express various sentences related to certain scenarios, whether as part of a joke, acting, or spontaneous practice in the context of their camaraderie. Jungkook's sentence, which was cut and shared without full context, unintentionally triggered widespread misunderstanding among fans. An internal BigHit source who wished to remain anonymous confirmed that there was no active conflict or major emotional event occurring between Jungkook and Jimin as many had speculated. In fact, both are currently focused on fulfilling their military service duties and are maintaining good communication and relations with the other members. It was also emphasized that their interactions remain warm and professional, and there was no specific incident that required an apology as assumed. Furthermore, reports that previously mentioned internal tensions, psychological pressure, and even mental health issues involving Jimin during the same period were also denied by various relevant parties. Several major Korean media outlets even corrected their articles after receiving official explanations that the initial circulating information was inaccurate and originated from exaggerated speculation by unofficial social media accounts. Fans who were previously overwhelmed with concern and emotional tension have begun to realize that this was one clear example of how a small snippet of an event can be misinterpreted and lead to an erroneous conclusion. Many large international fan bases eventually issued statements urging ARMY to be more cautious when spreading information and to always wait for official clarifications before forming opinions or disseminating assumptions. Thus, the news that spread regarding Jungkook's apology to Jimin as an indication of internal conflict can be confirmed as untrue. It is a collective misunderstanding born from a lack of context and the public's hasty reaction to incomplete information.